We live in a world that praises collaboration, loud voices, and constant connection. From the moment we wake up, we are surrounded by opinions, updates, advice, and noise. It's easy to believe the progress only happens when we're constantly engaged, surrounded by others, working together toward a goal. But the truth is, some of the most powerful revelations don't come from group discussions or external input. They come when we're alone. Not lonely, just alone. There is a difference. In solitude, we're not escaping people, we're reconnecting with ourselves. When we step away from the crowd, something remarkable happens. We can finally hear ourselves think. For many, this is uncomfortable at first. Without the distraction of others, we're left face to face with our own thoughts, fears, and questions. But within that discomfort lies incredible potential. Solitude is where questions like, why am I doing this? And what do I truly believe in? Rise to the surface. When we give ourselves the space to reflect, to listen inward instead of outward, our purpose becomes less about what we think we should do or avoid making hard choices. But when you remove yourself from the noise, even temporarily, you begin to see things differently. The decisions that once felt cloudy start to come into focus. The opinions of others, while still valuable, begin to take a back seat to your own inner compass. And in that moment, when you finally hear your own voice again, something powerful happens. You begin to lead yourself. You begin to understand not just what you want to do, but why it matters. The why isn't found in the approval of others. It's not found in the applause, the likes, or the compliments. It's not even found in success, if success is defined by the world's standards. The why is deeply personal. It's the fire that burns quietly when no one is watching. And to discover it, you must be willing to disconnect from the world for a while, to unplug from the constant validation loop, and trust that your own thoughts, your own instincts, have value. The world will tell you that doing it alone is risky, but the bigger risk is never discovering what drives you, because you never gave yourself the space to find out. Some of the most impactful ideas, inventions, and movements began not in a crowded room, but in the mind of someone sitting alone. Someone willing to ask difficult questions and sit with uncomfortable silence. This isn't about rejecting connection. It's about recognizing that solitude is part of the process. It's where your why has the chance to rise to the surface unfiltered. And once you've found it, once you've anchored yourself in something meaningful, then collaboration becomes a tool, not a crutch. You no longer need others to tell you what matters. So if you find yourself alone on the path, don't rush to fill the silence. Don't fear the stillness. Embrace it. Let it do its work. Because the most important journey isn't the one where everyone is cheering you on. It's the one where you discover why you started walking in the first place. That reason, your why, is what will carry you through the noise, the doubts, and the distraction. And when the time comes to lead others, you'll be doing so not from a place of noise, but from a place of deep personal clarity. There comes a moment in every meaningful pursuit when the room goes quiet. The voices that once encouraged you begin to question you. The hands that clapped begin to fold. Doubt starts to replace support. Not because people are cruel or indifferent, but because what you're trying to do no longer fits within their framework of what's familiar or comfortable. In that moment, the easy path is to wait for consensus, to seek agreement, alignment, approval. But the bold path, the one that leads to true change, demands something else entirely. It demands courage. Consensus is comfortable, it feels safe, it offers a sense of belonging, of shared responsibility, but it also waters down conviction. When we spend too much time seeking consensus, we begin to edit ourselves. We adjust our ideas, our words, even our dreams to make them more acceptable. We want to avoid friction to maintain harmony. But leadership is not about comfort. It's not about being agreeable. It's about standing firmly in a belief that something different is possible, even when that belief isolates you, especially when it isolates you. Progress is almost always uncomfortable at first. Every bold idea, every revolutionary movement, every significant shift in history started with a person or a small group willing to act without consensus, not recklessly, not arrogantly, but with conviction. They were willing to be misunderstood, even ridiculed, because they saw something others didn't, and they believed in it enough to keep going. Courage, in this context, is not about ignoring others. It's about being deeply rooted in your purpose, enough that the absence of agreement does not stop you. When you rely on consensus, you give away your agency. You allow others to determine when you're allowed to move. And often, by the time consensus forms, the moment for innovation has passed. The world doesn't need more people waiting for approval. It needs more people with the strength to act on truth before it's popular. Courage doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you don't let fear have the final vote. And more importantly, it means you don't ask fear for permission to begin, courage to keep going when others don't yet understand, courage to move forward without applause.